everyone. I am your host, Shavon Meyers, on Wellness Unscripted on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. Welcome, everyone, and welcome to my show. I'm so excited to be back after a long time being away, a few weeks, and hopefully, Wellness Unscripted can give you guys all that you dream of as far as clinical mental health, peer experience, real live experience from individuals who've gone through situations. I have a guest today on my show, who's been on a previous show that I run, Talking Wellness, Nikai Bannister.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm excited.
Okay, and I hope everyone is enjoying the weather. It's up and down. And if anybody ever wants to call in, they can. We'll provide that number for you in a moment. But we really love everyone's feedback on things that I'm doing on the show, some great ideas, and that sort. So just hang tight.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Hi, can you hear
Hey,
me?
Nikai, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I don't think you can hear me.
Okay. Give us 1 second. Just having some technical difficulties. Okay. Hi, Nikai. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. Thank you for coming on the show today, Wellness Unscripted. I'm so excited to have you as my first guest. Kind of like a pilot right now with the show, and figuring things out. Um, so thank you, and thank you for working with us through the technical difficulties. So last time you were on a show that I was running, I know we talked a lot about um, your background and you starting a podcast of some sort. So for those who are new listening and tuning in, just let people know a little bit about your background and what you do, and then we can jump into some new exciting things that you have going on um, with your company.
Sure. So, right now, Evolve for Enterprises is building and growing. It's a really great effort where it's a business that has a few different prongs to it. And when I was first chatting with you, which was really exciting it was very new and exciting and trying to figure out what was the magic mix. And right now we have a few different prongs. Of course, you said we have She Did That podcast, which is our podcast that highlights young women of color who are doing amazing things in our community. And then we also have Sparked Impact Marketing, which is another piece of our, that's our bread and butter of our organization. That's our marketing agency, which has just been a wonderful place to kind of actually support a lot of the women entrepreneurs that I have been able to meet and, really help boost. I don't work with solely just women entrepreneurs. I do want to put that disclaimer out there. I work with all entrepreneurs. I think given the name, that's what people think, but I really do want to see all small businesses thrive. So that's kind of my target. And then we have our Self by Nikai Lee's branch as well, which is our self-care wellness, portion of my brand. And that lives like journals that are coming. And then we also have cuticle oil pens, like self-care, beauty care products that we'll be selling as well that will help just regular busy women do their best thing. So I guess what's up and coming right now is the fact that I was primarily working with nonprofits and different organizations for marketing, but I have recently just launched a package that is suitable for micro businesses that are people who are running their businesses or brands themselves, or maybe just with a couple other people, and they need some help getting their message out there. So I've been able to launch a more affordable package that allows our micro businesses to still be seen and still get that really great quality marketing, but at a lower price. Because I know that, when you're running it by yourself,
It's
you have to run lean and mean. Yeah.
Yes, I completely understand. And as you know, with eclectic mosaic wellness, like that is just a lot, and if you're not getting grants or loans, that's even harder. So it's good that you took that into consideration and you were able to pull a package together, to get people started. Sounds like. What does the package entail?
So the package entails a content creation session, like one-on-one with you, where I will go through, if you have a physical space, we'll take a whole bunch of content in that 1 hour and really get a good month's worth of content done. And then you'll also get a one-on-one meeting with me that recaps how the month went. And I have 3 different packages that will, of course, be able to help depending on what your needs are. There's one where you get 4 posts a month, 8, and then 12. So, because some businesses don't necessarily need to be super present online, but they like to just kind of get a start or they'd like to just have a presence.
Mm-hmm.
So that works for some of those businesses that, like, the 4 posts a month package would really suit them. And then the people who really want to show up more and have a more robust platform,
Mm-hmm.
they would probably do best with the 12 posts.
Mm-hmm.
And within all of those posts, I am offering that I will be managing 1 or 2 platforms. So that could be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, any of the big 3 that you'd like. That's the one that we will tackle and make sure that you're hitting on.
Nice. That sounds exciting. Makes me want to sign up.
Yeah.
Do you mind asking me like what the price ranges are, or like?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the price ranges from $125 to $260.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So so it's per month, and it is like just a reasonable way to kind of get someone to get you started. And of course, we like to give you the best bang for your buck. So even if the content isn't always streaming, if you wanted to do a magic mix, if you wanted to incorporate stories, if you wanted to do a profile refresh, all of those things can also be maneuvered and added on, and just so that you're getting the best opportunity to set yourself up for greatness on those platforms.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. It's all very exciting, and I love the work that you're doing. I know you're very ingrained in your community. How do you feel about helping your community? Do you think you're doing enough? Do you think there's more that needs to be done? Because as you know, it's hard when we feel like we're doing our best and we're showing up, but there's always still more that needs to be done, right?
Yeah, I absolutely feel like I want to do so much more. I think that there is so much more work to be done, especially within the community and marketing space.
Mm-hmm.
I think you hear it all across the board that I think the biggest struggle within so many communities is being able to hear about what's going on and to know what's out there in their own community. That's what builds community, is connection and being able to the exchange of information. And I think that when you're starting your own business, just starting the business itself is the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
But then, once in the midst of building, you're like, oh my goodness, I need to tell people about this.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be, it's layered, and there's so many different facets to it, especially within the social media, digital marketing realm. There's so many different options of how you can get the word out there, and you have to find what's most effective for you.
Right.
So for me, I would love to help more small businesses and micro businesses get a good start, because I know, everybody just knows, okay, let me just at least have a profile on these platforms,
mm-hmm.
but to really optimize it so you're searchable and that people can see what you have to offer and see who you are, and all of the different layers is so important. And even it's not even just limited to social media, but even being so searchable on Google, having a Google business profile and working through all of these different pieces would really put you on the map and probably make the difference in your sales at the end of the day. So mm-hmm. I do think that there needs to, I want so much more for our small businesses. We're the heartbeat of this country. And I think that having more of a boost so that people can participate in that economy will be, the best in terms of moving it forward.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree. And Nikai, we'll be right back right after the break. I'm your host on Wellness Unscripted, 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. We'll be back after the break.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
Let's focus on the facts. About 1 in 8 men will be diagnosed with prostate cancer during their lifetime. But education and support are just one click away. On Friday, June 5th, the Massachusetts Prostate Cancer Coalition, MPCC, will hold its annual symposium, virtual and free, from 8:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Join us. You will receive the latest information, treatment options, and research. All are welcome. Men, caregivers, and medical professionals. The focus is on men's health and ways to live beyond diagnosis. To register, visit masspcc.org/events.
Tune into the Sustaining Life with Susan T. Ulett, and together we will find our way to a healthier, healing lifestyle by listening to empowering stories of overcoming our struggles. Join me, Susan T. Ulett, on the Sustaining Life every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. See you soon.
Recreation Worcester is a free year-round program for youth run by the City of Worcester. The program enriches this city's youth in athletics, arts, academics, and social-emotional learning activities. Food is provided for free of charge for all youth participating in the program. Learn more at the Worcester Recreation website, www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester. That's www.worcesterma.gov/recreation-worcester.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY. Talk, Worcester.
Hello, everyone. I'm Shavon Meyers, your host on Wellness Unscripted on 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. And we're back with my special guest here, Nikai Bannister. Nikai, you're there?
Yes, I am.
Hi, welcome back. All right. So we were definitely getting into a good conversation about like really reaching out to the community and making ourselves resourceful. And I see that you're very ingrained in that as well as your mom. And then we talked a little bit about like the barriers as well. And I think that's really important because many people do not have access to, community resources and, things to help them thrive and start their business and, uplift them. Some people may not even believe these things exist for them, right? Particularly maybe, the Black community and that sort of thing, people of color, people in poverty. Not knowing that there are different ways to get around, expenses, right? Their support. So putting yourself out there as an entrepreneur for your business, what would you say would be some of those barriers that you see? And how do you work with people?
In terms of for my clients or for myself?
For the clients as well as yourself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, for the clients, when it comes to the clients, I think that there's an educational piece.
Mm-hmm.
That is the biggest barrier that I see for myself. Being able to bridge that gap,
mm-hmm.
and trying to figure out, what is the magic mix for them, and then being able to have them feel empowered in that to be able to do it themselves once we have completed our time.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, I think that getting the clients used to creating content, being used to being the face, being used to putting their products on display, and getting creative with how that's done.
Mm-hmm.
I know that this can be kind of intimidating. And it can be a little daunting, but it is going to be so worthwhile because once you get comfortable, it's like riding a bike, and you can be able to put your ideas out there and really, scale your business because people are becoming more aware of your brand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that those are the two biggest, because once you get the content out on the platform and you're working the things, you're working the different features of the platform, they're really built to get your message out there. They're really some features that make it kind of accessible for all. You just have to be able to tap into those things. So I think those are the biggest hurdles that I see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, as you know. So I do like your self-care brand that's coming out. I am, being a therapist, that can be hard for anybody who's juggling more than one thing in their life. And then as women and as strong individuals, it's hard to sometimes put ourselves first, but we do have to prioritize that in order to pour into other people's cups, right? So I like the brand about journaling and, you said pens for the cuticles. What makes your self-care brand unique, but, different than the others out there? And I love this just because sometimes our brand speaks for itself and it offers something entirely different than what's not out there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited too because it is something that I feel like is going to be something very uniquely positioned.
Mhm.
Where I think that when you see a lot of self-care, products and brands, they're very much so. This is completely detached from your entire life. This
Nice.
is something that, this is a spa day. This is something that, exists outside of your daily life,
Mhm. Yeah.
But what I want to emphasize is the idea of balance. That this can fit into your day to day. Just like you said, like we're all super busy. There's so many things happening. We're balancing a lot of different hats. And sometimes self-care can't necessarily come in a very detached form,
Mhm.
where you can't necessarily be transformed, but it's something that can be integrated into your daily life. So that's what I'm hoping to convey through this branding. Having a beautiful oil pen, that's something that's on the go. It goes in your purse.
Mhm.
It's meant to be something that goes with you and is provides you the moment to take care of yourself in the
Mhm.
moments where you're on the go. And then the journals and the coloring books, those are going to affirm you in the
Mhm.
journeys that you're going on, whether that is an entrepreneurial journey or a growth journey, something that, and it'll be compact enough that you can take it on the go with you as
Mhm.
well.
Okay, nice.
So that, because I think that I want to be able to capitalize off of those moments when I know for myself, even when I'm at home, there's very limited time to be able to sit down
Mhm.
and actually do all of the things. But there might be some moments on the road or when I have some idle time before a meeting or in between appointments and things like
Mhm.
that, where I could do a little something, that kind of calms me or, that takes me into a more relaxed state.
Mhm.
And I'm hoping to be able to be that piece that provides that in that moment. So
Absolutely.
that's, I want balance. That's what it is. It's not necessarily separation from all the things, but feeling harmonious within all of the things,
Mhm. Yeah, that's exciting to really kind of you be forced or pressured into integrating that self-care and that piece in the middle of your day when you stop and take a break. I always have a journal on my desk or something coloring book on my desk, so in case I need that 5 or 10 minutes to engage in activity, I might take that time away to do it. But and then because of, I guess, the boundaries with being at work sometimes and prioritizing things that happen in your space, when you're at work, sometimes it's hard to reach out for it. So that's really good that you're able, like a pen. I love that idea because you can just sit there and while you're in your car waiting or whatever the case may be, you can just do your cuticles or whatever you can, pull out that little journal that you have and just start writing in and start thinking and reflecting on things too. I think the hard part is to really train people to do that as well. Some people may see that as a chore, but I think for a lot of people who really want to and are able to, they'll really make it a priority and have no excuses to not do it because it's in front of them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Like it's like you were saying that there are so many different moving pieces, and having that little tiny piece that you can kind of tap into during the day just helps you carry on through the rest of your day.
Mhm.
And I don't think that sometimes we realize how much we need those pieces until we're in it, until we're in the space of having to need it.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
and it just brings you back into the present world. So I think that that is the crux. Like, the busy woman is still going to be busy even when she's kind of downtime. And I think it's about time we get real about that. Is that
Right.
the days continue and continue and continue, and the window for self-care can sometimes be pretty limited.
Mhm.
And I give so many kudos to the women who are carving that time out by any means necessary. And
Yes.
it's something that I'm still working on myself. So, just getting in where you can fit in,
Yeah. I always say schedule it in. It sounds so silly, like, and just doing a couple's work, same thing with intimacy. Like, if you don't schedule it in, you don't make it a priority. But I think the things that we feel we have easy access to and that are accessible, we kind of put on the back burner because we take it for granted, right? But not really realizing that it always gets the back burner. It's always at the end of our list because we assume that we can always get to it, but we really can't,
Right.
So I always say, like, if you set an alarm for something or you set a date to get your hair done, your eyebrows done, your nails done, like, you're putting that in your schedule and you're prioritizing that. Why not say, okay, this is the time hour I'm going to take out to journal, and like I talked about before I wake up, I'll wake up with my alarm, and then I'll wake up super earlier than expected. And then I may say, I'm going to take this 15 to 30 minutes out for myself. I'm going to reset my alarm to just lay down and meditate, or to just meditate, because I like to think about my day. I like to pick up how I'm feeling. And then sometimes in the middle of my day, like, I might just take a walk for this other place I work for, which is really cool because it's nice and it's, it's a good place to walk with the trees and be one with nature. And I might reflect in the middle of my day. And at the end of my day, I just, I'll make a priority to do that as well. It's just having that time out for myself. So it's hard, but I think, like how I do at the beginning of my day, I also need to follow suit, right? Because sometimes it's hard to set an alarm in the middle of your day or the end of your day. But before I wake up, it's been a ritual for me. It really has. And it's like, all right, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to think for 15, 20 minutes, even though I hear my kids screaming in the background. I'm going to, not at me, but they're just making noise running around and they're up and they want juice and milk, whatever. It's just 15, 20 minutes. Let me just meditate on how I feel my day will go, how I expect it to go, and how I can be flexible,
Yes,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I love I think that's something that also is an unspoken piece
Mhm.
of, like, scheduling it in and, like you said, following suit, because I'm sure that there are a lot of women who are guilty, or people in general who are guilty of putting it in the schedule and being like, oh, that's just slipped.
Yep.
But showing up for yourself is so important. And that is the crux of, like, both approaches to self-care and making sure that you're getting in, is that piece of making sure that you're getting it in.
And
you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And we have to always remind ourselves that we deserve it. And that moment that we feel a certain way, we deserve it. We worked hard for it. Well, thank you so much, Nikai, for coming on my show. We have to link up. I know you have your podcast and everything going. So I would like to obviously link up for things like that with you. And, we're both working in the community and, just really supporting each other. Thank you so much for coming on my show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Can't wait to come back.
Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. I am your host, Shavon Meyers, on Wellness Unscripted, and you are listening to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.